James Shillinglaw for Virtual Roadshows, and here we are selling family vacations. And we have here today a number of great all-inclusive resort brands where really they specialize in families. You can go to these all-inclusive resorts now. We were just talking about it off screen about how some all-inclusives used to be kind of for the couples and singles, and it's all changed. And now there are a lot of family all-inclusive resorts out there, some wonderful, wonderful options. And we have three of them here for you. And I'll just ask them to raise their hand when I introduce them. We have Nicole Perez, who's Director of Sales North America for Princess Hotels and Resorts. Hello, Nicole. How are you?
Hi, how are you, James?
I'm great. Now, and then we have Justin Heckman, who's the National Director of Sales Strategy for, this was old venerable Club Med. So that was one of my first all-inclusives, that's for sure. And hello,
Hi,
Justin.
Jim.
How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
And last but not least, we have Ashley Gibbs, who is with Hilton All-Inclusives. And as you know, a lot of the major hotel chains, including Hilton and a few others, are starting to really get heavily into this market. And they have some wonderful all-inclusive resorts. So we're going to talk to all three of them about this topic and a whole lot more. And let's just start it right off. My opening question really is, and I'll start it off with Nicole, for you, each of you, actually, to briefly describe your all-inclusive resorts and what they offer. First of all, Nicole, what does Princess offer?
So Princess has a total of 9 properties in DR and Mexico, and 7 of them are focused on family. So we have rooms fitting up to 5 people. So for those families that are big, that are difficult to accommodate, we can actually accommodate them all in one room. We also have special buffet restaurants specifically designed for the kids so they can actually pick up their food and pick whatever they want to eat. We have babysitting, we have kids club, we have teens club. And this is in 2 of the most amazing, I believe, destinations in the Caribbean, which is Punta Cana and Riviera Maya. So yes, and we also have the Princess Family Clubs, which is an idea specifically designed for those big families that maybe you travel with little kids, and we have 24-hour concierge service. We try to get them as comfortable as possible so that the experience when you're traveling with small children doesn't get overwhelming.
Now, and you already answered, you have 7 out of the 9 resorts are really family focused, because that was my next question. But
Yes.
let's talk to Justin, talk a little bit about Club Med. And I know there are a number of family focused, and there are some couples, I believe, still. Are there still a few couples only there? I can't remember.
There's a couple, yeah, but most of the resorts are really family focused. I think, one of the biggest things, Club Med, sometimes people still think of us as the old days when we were very, very couples focused, but now the majority of the Club Med properties really are exclusively, well, not exclusively, but really primarily family focused. So, of course, we have the great features that you'd need for families, like, family rooms and adapted facilities, baby club that starts as young as 4 months in some resorts. So great opportunities for care for kids all ages up through teens. But I really think the most important thing that we offer is the experience on resort. We're very international. You have folks from around the world, so kids are interacting with other kids from different cultures and backgrounds. Activities like sailing, like flying trapeze and circus school. It's not sitting in a room playing Xbox. We really get kids out trying to do stuff, be a little bit more active. So, Club Med is really the originator. And the other thing that makes Club Med a little different, we are global. So a lot of times you think about all-inclusive resorts in Caribbean and Mexico, and we do certainly have those, but we have 70 properties worldwide, including great resorts in the mountains for ski or summer mountain activities too.
Yeah, well, actually, one of the points I was going to make is you are probably the only. Sadly, I don't think Princess or Hilton that I know of has ski resorts that are all inclusive. It is a little different. They do have a unique thing. I mean, they have wonderful resorts. You're getting all the best resorts here, but Club Med does offer ski all inclusive, which is pretty amazing.
Yep.
Now let's talk a little bit about Ashley. Let's talk about Hilton. How many all inclusive resorts does Hilton have in the chain? You keep adding, so I lose track.
That's true. And actually, funny enough, the time that we're doing this recording, we just added a new one this week. So as of the 23rd of October, we open up a brand new one in the hotel zone, which is actually one of the many great family-friendly options that we have. And, kind of talking about the portfolio as a whole, I had been trying to kind of give some identity in the first year or so that we've really been on the scene. And the one sentence that sums us up best is really a sophisticated family-friendly experience. I mean, it's still very price point achievable for a majority of the market out there, but the modern traveler, especially in the post-COVID landscape, definitely has a more kind of discerning palate, and the evolution of the all-inclusive has led to the fact that parents like myself, right? I mean, I've got a soon to be 8-year-old and also a 5-year-old daughter. And we are going to be traveling to the Hilton Tulum in the coming month. And really, I don't want to sacrifice, a nice dinner out. I don't need kids club characters running all around, but I do still want the kids to be the star of the show and for us to offer a lot. So I know as we'll have some of these other questions upcoming, we'll get into that. But really sophisticated, family friendly, where the parents aren't sacrificing is a really main focus for us. And it ties into some of the key selling points of the Hilton all-inclusive experience. Currently, we are focused mostly on Mexico and the Caribbean, obviously with so many of the flights coming from our key markets of the U.S. and Canada going into those destinations. But we do have our eyes on a little bit more of a global landscape. There are a few of those resorts that are outside of the outside of the United States, but more outside of the North American, Central American area that we will be putting a little bit more of a focus on in the coming years. So that just gives some folks some things to be excited about. They stay tuned to the space.
Absolutely. And it's great that you're in the market. There's just so many options now, and it's great to see that. Let's talk about, we sort of talked a little bit about accommodations that you offer, but let's stick with you, Ashley, in terms of, you've mentioned, what are the special accommodations that you offer for families in terms of, I'm sure you have connecting rooms. I'm sure you have for me, I want the room the farthest away possible from my kids. So I at least at one point I did. But no, right. When they were growing up and they were going to all inclusives, obviously you want something that's right there. So what are the accommodations that you have that are so great for families?
Sure. Well, I mean, as you mentioned it, in a number of our resorts, we can actually guarantee connecting rooms. So that would be obviously booking the same type of room category and having a king and the two queens together. So that would accommodate a party up to 6. And we all know that a lot of times it's a challenge for those families with more than the 2 children to find accommodations that fit. Then in the example of, say, Hilton Tulum, we have a specifically designated family area. So when you're going in and looking at the room inventory listings, you can see a standard oceanfront room, then you'd see an oceanfront family, which is more closely located to an area that's completely focused on the family experience. So our own kind of restaurants, really neat things like food trucks, and of course the ice cream and churro stands. So, not just to feed the kids with sweets, we also have a lot of different activities available for them. So whether it be family oriented and kids oriented splash pads and pool experiences, or, anything from like a multi-level kids club teens lounge, it really gives some dedicated space that's got activities going from morning to evening. And then that lends itself to letting the parents kind of escape. So you can still be on that family vacation, but the kids can stay in the kids club, have constant activities and stimulation up until about 10 o'clock in the evening, which gives mom and dad the chance to kind of escape and go experience one of those finer, more immersive dining experiences as a couple, while still getting, all the things that the kids want. So as far as even our newest addition, the brand new Hilton Cancun Mar Caribe, that actually used to be a timeshare property. So we've done the owners did over $100 million renovation to the hotel. So everything from inside and out is gutted. It's a brand new hotel, shining, sparkling. Had a chance to see it back in June of this year. But what's really neat about that being historically a timeshare property where it was membership and everything, the square footage on those rooms is much larger. So it's, the accommodations when you go in, you're like, gosh, there's so much space. Yeah. And then I can do, the connections and space for families are larger than 4. So really from throughout the entire portfolio, we've got a lot of great accommodations available. And then their locations on property really fit the family demographic quite a bit better.
Fantastic. Now, Nicole, same question for you in terms of the accommodations that you offer within your family-focused resorts. I assume you have all the great connecting rooms, things like that, right?
We do. We do actually have connecting rooms in all of our family properties, and we also have exchange privileges with a lot of the properties within the portfolio. So, for example, if you are staying at the Princess Family Club, and maybe it's me and my kids, but my parents want to go and they don't necessarily want to stay there and see the amenities for the children, they can actually stay at the Gran Bávaro Princess and then meet up because they do have exchange privileges. And the same thing happens along all of our properties. And yes, we do have connecting rooms. Obviously, we do have the family rooms. We have family suites in the Tropical Deluxe Princess. We also have the family suites at both of the Princess Family Clubs that fit up to 5 guests. And we do also have connecting rooms within those family clubs. So that if the family is bigger than 5, we can actually also have them as close by or together as possible. We also have activities throughout the entire day. And the cool thing about it, which I always say during my presentations, is that since we do have the exchange privileges, the parents don't necessarily have to have their dinners every single night in the pirate buffet. They can actually go ahead and
what you mean I can't go to the pirate buffet? I don't know about that.
If you want, you can do that. But I mean, it's if you're there for 4 or 5 days and you're having all of your meals with the pirates, I do believe us parents, us adults do need a little downtime from the pirates. No,
I would agree. Yeah.
They can actually have those a la carte dinners, and we do also have babysitting available. So if they don't want to take the kids to the a la carte dinners, they can actually leave them behind for a little while.
No, that's great. And I do like the idea. You can put them in another resort almost,
Exactly. Basically, you're in 2 separate
I mean, obviously
resorts.
for older kids, I'm not going to abandon the kids, but it's although I got to tell you, the kids abandoned me when I was at all-inclusive at an age where my kids were doing that. They didn't really want us around. So
and also, another cool thing that we have in our properties is that it's difficult for parents to travel with teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
So it's difficult to know what they want to do. They don't like anything in the resort. So we have tons of activities for all type of ages, and especially for the teens. So we have the 24-hour sports club where they have games. We have bowling lanes. So they actually have their own activities to do, and they can walk around all of the properties and do whatever they want. But you already know that they're within the property doing something. So I think the all-inclusive in general, not only Princess, do give the families that chance to make everybody feel that they're actually enjoying their vacation, not necessarily one part of the family.
That's great. That's great to know. Now, Justin, sort of the same question. I know you got a whole bunch of accommodations. I've been to a number of your resorts, but you can really cater to any kind of family and any size family, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We also in a couple of different configurations. So it really just depends on the resort a little bit. But, in every family resort that we have adapted rooms for families. And in some cases, that is, in fact, like an interconnecting room, which is guaranteed interconnecting. In some cases, it's a family, what we call a family room, which is a separate bedroom for the parents and then a bedroom for the kids with one door to the outside. For example, in Club Med Cancun, we just a couple of years ago built kind of a dedicated family area. It's called Aga Marina. And that's 2 complete areas, 2 complete buildings that have only family rooms in them. But we also have other facilities around the resort adapted to families. So again, in that case, we have a dedicated family pool. And I wish I had a picture of it, but it's cute. You have these little lounge chairs they're just a little bit smaller, adapted for kid size. And there's the kids snack bar that's right there. So, in all the resorts, we try to have adaptive facilities. And Nicole brings up a really good point about teens. We certainly do that as well. We don't necessarily in all the resorts have a dedicated teen club, but we organize, and that was in part in response to some of the things that we felt teens were asking for. But we do have dedicated activities, including sometimes dedicated teen excursions too. So just kind of depends on the resort. But again, lots of activities for all ages and adapted rooms for sure.
Absolutely. Well, sometimes I think you should just have an all-inclusive just for teens, and they can be over there on the other side of the island, right? Yep. Maybe we'll look in them from time to time. They don't want us there anyway. So but it is interesting. My kids have, and they're not kids anymore, but obviously you have to cater to that. And it's great when you can cater to everybody. Let's stick with you, Justin, because we did start to talk about dining in all of these discussions. What are the kind of family-friendly dining options that you have on your properties that you mentioned, snack bars, things like that, but where are the kids going to be happiest?
Well, again, each resort has its own dining options, but the main meals are what we call marketplace, and I try to get away from the term buffet because it's not necessarily just stuff sitting out. We have action stations, we have chefs preparing things fresh. What's great about that is that all ages, everybody can go in and get exactly what they want really, really easily and quickly. And particularly if you have picky eaters in the family, Club Med focuses on our food. We have a lot of options. Every night's a different theme. So, it's always something different. It's never just the same thing every day, but there's always going to be options for everybody. We have, in some of the properties, we have special dining areas really just for kids, the kids restaurants. Okay. And those are various programs throughout the day. You'll see in some of the kids clubs, we have kid-sized buffets, so they're a little bit smaller. So you'll see the kids clubs go up and serving themselves. So that's great. And then we also do have sit-down dining by reservation at no extra charge in most of the resorts. So if parents want to get out and have a separate night without the kids, they could go to a pajama club with the kids and then go out to eat on their own in a sit-down dining restaurant. So really, I think the message is really something for everybody.
Absolutely. That's great. Now, actually, the same question, what are the dining options you have on property that really can be family friendly, but also allow the adults to get away if they have to?
Sure. Well, I mean, I like it best to kind of give some examples as well. I mean, just like Justin did here, I know I mentioned before, like little things like the food trucks and, ice cream and churro shop. We have things like that in a number of.
That's where I'm dining, actually. I'm sorry. That is the churro truck and the ice cream. That's it. I
mean, listen, you could probably live off of churros for a whole week.
I'm going to try. I could try.
Check off some of the food group. Let me know how that works out for you. So we've definitely got that as an option. But again, those are like lighter bites. We tend to use the words more like a culinary showcase, again, with like cooking activation stations and, again, the discerning palate of the modern traveler, and the fact that we have invested and tried to bring in a lot of the higher end EP elements that Hilton's been known for over the last century of being in the hospitality industry. Infusing those into the all-inclusive experience, where it still is all part of the all-inclusive value, but It does feel like it's on a little bit more elevated level. But I'll give you another example. Walking around like the poolside, more family-focused area at, say, Hilton Cancun, for instance, multiple different additional food activations are available there. So it could be something, and I don't know how many kids love like the ceviche, but there's also like fruit carts that have all different fresh fruit bowls, and even on like the mangoes on a stick with the tahini and everything. Right. I've seen like popsicle trucks, and again, it's not all about like the sweets, but even just something simple like little grab and go tacos. So not only do we have the full on kind of culinary showcase or kind of pseudo buffet style option for them to sit down in the AC, get a little bit of a break. But if you don't want to take that investment of time, there's so many other different food options available for like a little bit more of a grab and go if the kids just don't want to get away from the pool or the water park or the splash pad. So really it is about variety, right? And so many of these areas are focused on that, or maybe it is just a little snack bar by our water park. We happen to have so many other things. So I know a lot of these questions will tie into some of the others that I'm sure that you'll ask, but really it's just a matter of having so many of those options at your fingertips and making sure that the investment in the culinary aspects of the resort really cater to all ages, especially in the family focused ones.
Absolutely. And you do have to do that. Nicole, I'll let you close this out in terms of the dining options. We started talking about them earlier, but what are some of the dining options you do have for families and for maybe adults who want to get away?
Yeah, of course. It's same as Ashley and Justin just said. It would depend on what property you're visiting, but we do have the snack bars close to the kids' pool. We also have their own special buffet, lunch, and dinner, so they can actually pick up their food. We have hot dog carts around the pools. We have taco stands in Mexico. We have ice cream shops. We have ice cream trucks. So there's always something that they can actually go and eat. And obviously the a la carte options that we have in all of the 7 hotels. So, and the kids are also invited, even if you don't want them to go with you, but they are also invited to come.
Now, let's stick with you because we did skirt this topic, but let's talk about kids clubs. I mean, I'm sure you all have kids clubs. What are the kids clubs you offer, and sort of are they grouped by different ages, including the terrible teens, as they say? But do you have kids clubs up to what ages, and what are the groups?
So our kids club for Princess start at the age of 4 to 12, and then the teens club from 13 to 17. Those are where the kids can go, but we actually do have activities around all of the properties all of the time that kids are actually involved and the teens are actually involved. We also have obviously our 24-hour sports bar in almost all of the properties that we have, which have the bowling lanes or table games or pool where they can actually go and also grab a bite to eat, maybe a hamburger or a hot dog, or maybe grab a soda. So yeah, that's but we do the ages for the kids club are 4 to 12 and teens club 13 to 17.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I like bowling. That's why you'd find me in that club. I like that. Justin, same thing. I know, I remember you always had a very stratified kids club for different ages. Tell us a little bit of what Club Med is today. Because I'm thinking of it a few years ago, the last time I was there.
Yeah, well, we really try to, make sure that the age ranges are adapted, and the kids clubs are automatically included for kids 4 and up, and they are broken out, by ages. But that includes, again, the teen clubs which we mentioned. Very, very, very careful to make sure we have different ages. But we do have some resorts where the kids clubs start as young as 4 months and up, and that's called Baby Club. Okay. It is an additional charge for the Baby Club. Obviously, there's a little bit more care involved, so that's why. And then the Petit Club, which is 3 and 4, or 2 and 3 rather, sorry, is Club Med Petit Club. So those are available. Even outside of the kids clubs, though, we do include at no extra charge something we call Baby Welcome for really for babies and really young kids, and that's automatically including things in the room like a baby bath. That includes pack and play. That includes bottle warmers or access to the bottle room and things like that. So we really try to make sure that we make it easy for parents to bring kids to the resort, and even outside of the kids clubs that we have adaptive facilities.
No, that's great. I think I got a couple of customers for you as a budding grandfather with a 1-year-old and a now 5-week-old. So I don't think we're quite there to the 5-week-old, but the other one would be fine. In fact, I think my daughter grew up in kids clubs, and now what does she do? She runs a summer camp. So hey, there you go.
We have kids who go to the Club Med Kids Club and wind up playing on the tennis tour later because they learned to play tennis at Club Med and the kids club. So, it's really, really some great activities as well.
Fantastic. Now, Ashley, same question for you on the kids clubs. So what are the kind of kids facilities and the clubs that you offer, and what are the ages?
Yep, absolutely. Well, the ages kind of mirror what Nicole was talking about. So you started at that age 4 up to an age 12, and then 12 to 17 is going to be more for the teens. We actually do have those branded as well. So you've got what we call the Beach Bunch, which is our kids clubs for the younger kids. And then we do what's referred to as Sandbar Social, which is a little bit more of like giving space, but not as many of the structured activities for the teens. They're just looking for, an area where they can congregate with other teenagers. And, again, like teens club activities, I don't think is anything for that probably toughest to please age group quite out there. But then we also do have some spaces we refer to as the beach babies, which at some of the hotels and for instance, even in Tulum, it is an extra fee for on-site babysitting services. But for those children who are not yet potty trained and things, that's something where they can even be dropped off for, a certain amount of time throughout the day. And we give them some space. But even for, scenarios where we may not necessarily have the on-site babysitting team available for that fee, we would still have the beach baby space available. So if parents did just want to get the kids out of the sun, but not necessarily go back to the room, there's some, different space and little toys and things like that they can, interact with the younger kids and just kind of change the scenery a little bit. Because I know when I'm sure you're well experienced as you'll be spending some more time with 5-week-old. Congratulations, by the way. You need to kind of move the environment around quite a bit, and keep things fresh. The attention span's not so long. So we do have a lot of options there available. And that's, full tier for all age groups. I mean, again, whenever you have a family friendly resort, you want to make sure that all the age groups are catered to and that we're trying to make the activities or the spaces, relevant. So for teenagers, if they're going to be in an indoor space, they may just want to be, playing on a PS5 or shooting pool or playing air hockey. So we give them some of those activities to do and just really, again, meet like-minded, like-age teenagers themselves.
Actually, we're going to stick with you on the next question. We've been talking a lot about separating everybody into clubs and different restaurants and all kind. What about the things that families can really experience together? What are kind of some of the activities that we can actually all get together? Dining obviously is one, but what can you do at your resorts that really gets everybody together? Because the idea sort of is you kind of, as a family, it might be nice to be part of a family sometimes.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. As much as sometimes they try to avoid, or parents want to escape off. I think that one of the things that we focus on a lot of times during the day, especially with a lot of our poolside entertainment and all the family-friendly resorts, is going to be activities that really cater towards participation, but are geared towards family. So much of the poolside entertainment activation can be all sorts of different activities just to get people up and moving and going. Those things would be family oriented, but then we also have a lot of great shows in the evening that are oriented towards family. So it could be something like, live band karaoke where the kids can get up there and sing with mom and dad. These are things that are happening a little bit earlier in the evening. So it wouldn't necessarily be at the time after dinner, where maybe we would also have a silent disco for, teenagers and adults and the older kids to do together. So it's really based on the time of the day or the evening and the age group. But whether it's daytime activities around the pool, like I mentioned, or some of those things that we do in the evenings, we have the spaces and the areas available to do them. And we've made a significant investment in entertainment that really does cater to all ages. And it's not just like the kids clubs and segmented. It should be about, spending time together as family. And I know that's what we're looking forward to doing here in our upcoming vacation.
Fantastic. Now, Nicole, the same question. I mean, what about those activities and things you can do together as a family? What does Princess offer?
Yeah, of course, the same thing with Ashley. We do have activities around the pool area that do incorporate all of the family members that actually want to participate. We also have in some hotels bicycle rides, so you can actually grab a bicycle and go ride around the property. And obviously the shows at our family-oriented hotels, the evening shows are geared towards families. So you have the Aladdin show, you have the Moana show, which is the new show that we have at our Grand Riviera and Grand Sunset Princess. So there's actually always not only dining options, but there's actually always some time that you can actually spend together like a family.
No, that's fantastic, because this should be a family vacation too. It just isn't everybody in there doing their own thing, although it's great to be away from everybody. Yeah, actually,
and James, I want to jump in real quick too, because a few of the resorts have great features. For instance, the Hilton La Romana, which is a half family friendly, half adults only property, our Hilton Rose Hall in Jamaica, and they have some of the largest water parks in the areas, right? But these are going to have everything from like the lazy river to also some of the more younger kid oriented things. But these are great scenarios where adults and kids really all are kids, right? In some of these spaces, so they're great places where the families can just kind of organically go and interact, and it's all together. So really it encompasses all ages and great, just kind of free flowing, no pun intended, activities there.
No, that's fantastic that there are gathering places for that. Justin, I know that there are absolutely no activities for families on Club Med. I know that. You just got to be on your room and in your own pool, right? No, I know there's an amazing number of things going on, and there are always some great shows that are put on by your GOs, I think. Yep. So talk a little bit about those combined activities that families can enjoy together.
Sure. Well, of course, there's always, some great activities ongoing throughout the resort that families can engage in together. Like, you could take sailing lessons, you could do flying trapeze, you could do tennis lessons, you can certainly do that together. I think really, but we realized a couple of years ago, actually, that this was a common theme where, to your point, a lot of times we think about taking kids to an all-inclusive and they go in the kids club. And we had a lot of families that said, well, actually, we want to do some stuff together. So Club Med consulted with some child development specialists, child psychologists, and various experts in the field. And we developed a program that we call Amazing Family. And this is something that we've deployed now throughout the world in our resorts. And, each resort has its own selection of activities, but there's actually a together amazing family program that runs throughout the day in different areas with different activities. So, in some of the sun resorts, we do things like family treasure hunts. We do family games with, giant Jenga sets. We have different things like that. In some of the snow resorts, we'll do the family Olympics. So we have, people can kind of train for the family Olympics in different categories. We do a family, après ski with hot chocolate and stuff like that. So there's all the amazing family program is fantastic, and it's a really carefully curated selection of activities for families to be together.
That's fantastic. Although, don't get me on that trapeze again. I just dropped right off. I tried that a couple times over the years at Club Med, and I always say, I'll do it this time. No, can't do it. They tell me what I should do, and I never get it done. But maybe I need one more time. We'll see what happens. But let's stick with you, Justin.
Sure.
What kind of training and or marketing support for travel advisors do you have for those who are really selling to families?
Sure. The first stop would be the advisor website, the traveladvisors.clubmed.com. And once advisors register there, we actually have an online Club Med University program with some training materials so people can go through the training, learn about Club Med resorts, the family programs. And we also have marketing support. So we'll have any flyers or brochures and training materials all on the Travel Advisors site as well. That's the best stop for to learn about Club Med.
Fantastic. And Nicole, same question. Where can travel advisors go to get sort of more training, more education, and marketing support for when they're trying to sell to families, sell your resorts to families?
Of course, we have a specialist program on Travel Agent Academy for all of our properties in both DR and Mexico. We also have monthly training webinars. We do the first Thursday of every month. You can also join our Facebook group and keep in contact with me at our BDMs so they can provide you as much information as possible.
Fantastic. And Ashley, same question. Where can they go to find out about Hilton All-Inclusive Family training and learning more how to sell your resorts?
Well, no shocker there. We also have our own agent portal. So it's traveladvisors.hilton.com. Now, that will encompass the entire global portfolio. But what we've conveniently done, knowing how important the travel advisor community is specifically to all-inclusive, is build our own landing page there. So as advisors navigate to that page, they'll find a lot of the different resources. They got a lot of self-serve resources for our all-inclusive resorts. And then if there are any type of custom training, one-off type opportunities and things like that, they can always reach out to myself or a member of our team. We have specialists on the hosting consortia accounts. We have myself for general business development inquiries. And then there's also, specifics on different like social celebrations and things of that nature. So we do have a team to assist with those on any kind of additional training in addition to what's on the Travel Advisor portal.
Wonderful. And I'm going to stick with you as for our kind of final question here is, what is your best advice to our travel advisor audience about how to plan and book a family vacation at your resorts?
The biggest thing is ask as many questions as possible of the clients, right? I mean, the qualification process, as we know, is the most important part and the irreplaceable skill set that you as advisors have in supporting us as partners and for us to support each other, right? The more information that you have and the more that you utilize a lot of the resources that we mentioned, you're going to find the best fit for those clients. And all of us here have such a wonderful array of different options in regards to catering to families. So it's really a matter of what are those flights look like? What are their budgets? And then what are the specific, needs and things that they have? If the connecting rooms are absolutely paramount, then that's something that you need to really focus on. If it's more about having things for that teen age group, we are going to be able to guide you in the direction for the property or properties that are the most specific fit, right? The other advice that I would say is to create a relationship with us on the business development and support side to really ensure that we're building that relationship with you. It's always more helpful to have someone to kind of, ask some of those more tricky questions, but know that you're not alone and that we support you on that. And then really the most most beneficial way to book it would be whatever's best for your business. I always say we at Hilton work with all the major wholesale partners out there. So when you're putting together package pricing and things like that, it's really a matter of working with us as collective partners to make sure that you get the most bang for your buck for those value clients.
No, and I understand that. In fact, I think I just saw you at one of those wholesale partners down in Cancun, but
right.
From a distance.
Still dusted myself off after that one.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, Justin, same question about what is your best advice to travel advisors about planning and booking a family vacation at a Club Med?
Yeah, what Ashley just said. No.
Sorry.
Ditto. That was easy. No, really, I do think Ashley, bring up a great point. I mean, it really is important to understand what the real needs of your client are. I mean, I think that goes without saying. I think I will just go back and say that, as far as Club Med is concerned, we are a little bit different. So really understanding, are your clients a little bit more open to different experiences? Do they appreciate having an international environment? And, so it's those kinds of questions are important. Take the time to learn about Club Med, go online to the traveladvisors.clubmed.com site. And take some of the courses, even if you don't take the whole thing, just make sure you understand a little bit more about Club Med so you can decide how your clients would fit in. As far as booking goes, we have an online booking tool that's right there. So it's really easy to get pricing availability, take an option and book right online. But if you have questions, about a specific resort, you can call our team at 1-800-CLUB-MED, and they can help to try to help you book in the right way. And also, we have a full, field sales team that's ready to help.
That's fantastic. So it's not just about your kids will speak French after 7 days, right? Okay, no, I know. Or another language. I got to tell you, I've been to Club Meds, and I've had amazing experiences with, and it goes for probably pretty much all your resorts. I know, because there is a big international element at all-inclusive resorts, because you're going to find people from, a lot of from Mexico. There are a lot of big Mexican clients who are coming in. And so it is more of an international environment. It's not all US anymore. So it's a very great, I love it, because you get exposed to so much. Now I'll let you, Nicole, close it out about your best advice to our travel advisor audience. We started with you. So how can they book and plan a family vacation at your resorts?
I would say the same thing as Ashley and Justin said, but especially go to these type of events, do the virtual shows, do the trade shows, wherever you get a chance to learn about more products that's better for you, so that when you qualify your client, you actually know where you're going to send them, what options you're going to present to them. So keep up with all the information, ask your BDMs. That's what we're here for. We're here to answer all of your questions, everything you need.
Fantastic. And I'll let you close it out. Just remind us of the best point of contact and websites that Princess has. We talked a little bit about it, but what are those?
So right now you can contact us at princess-hotels.com. That's our main website. We also have our Facebook group, and you also can get certified as a Princess Specialist on Travel Agent Academy. Fantastic.
And Ashley, where is the best point of contact for Hilton All-Inclusives?
Best one is going to be traveladvisors.hilton.com. That's going to lead you to everything from obviously the travel advisor booking engine, but most importantly, as far as the all-inclusives go, that specific landing page with all of the resources that we have available.
Fantastic. And last but not least, Justin, where can they go again to get point of contact to learn all about Club Med?
Travel advisors, that's plural, .clubmed.com. noticing a trend here.
There is a trend. I'm glad you said I was saying travel advisors. It's interesting, travel advisors, that's made the shift. I know. Look, I used to run a magazine that had agent in the title. I probably it's a different world, I tell you, but it's great. It's so many more products. And right here, this group of all-inclusives, you got some great resorts here to choose from. They will actually all be on our virtual showroom floor. So now I would suggest that you go down to their booths and learn even more about these properties. They're amazing. I've been to many of them. I really think it's a great vacation. All-inclusive resorts really have changed since the days when Club Med came in the market. Since that was years ago, back when they first formed one of the first all-inclusives. But they're a lot more sophisticated and a lot more, as we said, family-friendly today. So please go down on the show floor now and get acquainted with all these wonderful products. And I want to thank Nicole, Justin, and Ashley. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us about your properties and family travel in general.
Thank you
for having us.
I'm James Shillinglaw for Virtual Roadshows Selling Family Vacations.